And welcome to the super fun, awesome, happy time pedal show. My name is Gabor.
Nice. Hey, I'm Alex.
Newsreader.
Nice.
Any newsreader jobs out there, I'll take it.
Oh, yeah. Words in good.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome on. I'm Alex. Going to check out this Line 6 today, but please hit like it, subscribe, and our channel. Give us a thumbs up and ding that bell first up. It helps us do our thing.
Yeah, and I just want to mention right from the start, this is provided by the lovely people at Line 6 Australia. So this is what you would call a sponsored video. And hello, Line 6 Australia.
So, pretty much brand new HX1.
Yeah, well, it came out a little while ago, the HX1. Sort of their updates to a pedal I really like, and I used to use a lot, which is the M5. Which is the sort of the one effect at a time pedal from that M series. That was M5, M9, and M13, I think.
Yeah,
all the odd numbers. Pretty much has all the same effects in it as any of the other HX stuff, whether you have an HX Stomp or the Helix or Helix LT or the software, the Helix Native or whatever it's called. Same effects, so we're not going to go through all of it. We're just going to look at how to use it and a bunch of features and that sort of, and there's timestamps if you want to skip to any of that stuff, but of course you don't because you want to watch all the cool stuff we do.
Sure, why not? Well, should we do some features on this new little bad boy?
Yeah, I mean, so basically you've got all the effects, one effect at a time.
Yep.
You've got a tap function,
Hence
you've
the
got
one.
MIDI in and out function, you've got stereo in and out function. By the way, we are hooked up in stereo, so not that it's so much about the effects today, it's more about the box in itself. Oh, and I should mention, if there's anything in particular you want us to do with this, let us know in the comments below and we'll do it. We'll try to do more videos with it. But, you know, you've got full MIDI in and out, stereo in and out, expression pedal in, you've got the two switches, the on-off switch and a tap tempo, which if you hold that in, it goes to the FLUX thing, which is really cool, which we'll get into later on. We'll hook up expression pedals and or additional foot switches later on as well. But yeah, let's just kind of look at it, right? So you've got the typical, like on a HX Stomp, you've got the three controls, which you know, it tells you on the screen here what the three controls are. With the left and right buttons here, you scroll through the different controls, right? So you've got anything, the time, feedback, low cut, and then it just corresponds to all these three knobs. They're all push button knobs as well, so you can push them to change things. So for example, on the time, you can go from quarter notes to milliseconds, that sort of stuff, right? But that's, I mean, basically,
Sure.
like on any HX stuff. You've got a button in it, or the knob controller in the middle here. You push that, it goes to your effect selection. So here, for example, you can go through all the different delay types. And then it's sort of kind of self-explanatory. There's a little arrow here. If you push back, now you can go through the different effects types, right? So distortions, dynamics, EQ, delay, reverb, pitch, synth, all the same ones, and looper as well. There's a loop on here. But you know, for example, you want distortion. You click on the distortion. Now you see all the distortions. You select the one you want, and then it pops up here, basically, right? To go back to home, you just press the home button, and if you hold that in, that's your save as well. Then to go through presets, you go left and right. That goes through different presets. Let's turn it off because it's noisy. Also, if you hold in both buttons, it has a tuner.
Helpful.
Built-in tuner. If you don't hold in both buttons, but you press them quickly, you can then scroll through presets. So there's all the presets. So for example, let's go tremolo auto pan, and then you press both buttons and it's there. So now you have a tremolo auto pan, which is in stereo, which this is what it sounds like.
Is it on?
Yeah. And Alex, do tell us about this lovely guitar that you're playing there.
This is a new Standard Plus Pacifica in some sort of blue colour. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it's like a Lake Placid kind of blue. It's a lovely blue.
Slightly metallic blue.
Lovely blue.
Yeah, this is going to be a full demo coming up on the channel.
And you'll probably see it in a bunch of videos as
Stick
well.
around for that. Kind of cool contoured here.
Yeah. But I mean, that's basically that. And then, let's do a couple of effects. Just what would you like to hear?
Maybe some distortion-y, crunchy things.
Distortion and crunches. Should we look at a preset or make our own?
Just find a preset. Why not?
Find a preset? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's look at that. We've got Elephant. Oh no, that's a delay. Elephant Man. Cosmos Echo Dynamic Hall. Maybe earlier on.
Oh,
There you go, Ratatouille. There you go. Maybe let's do another really stereo sounding thing. So let's go into here. Let's go into effects. Let's do, for example, a delay. Because I really liked it. That mod chorus echo was really nice, for example. So and make sure to listen to the whole video with good headphones or good speakers, because it's in nice stereo effects. And sounds like this. I always find Line 6 delays are amongst my favourite delays out there.
Quite pretty.
But I mean, the effects, we've heard them all before. We've seen them all before.
Yep.
There's lots of videos out there that show you all the effects. The thing I'm more interested in this is the FLUX function. So shall we maybe look at the FLUX function quickly?
Yeah, that's a whole new feature for
Because I think that's a whole new feature. Maybe let's, instead of doing a delay, let's go back to a drive.
Ooh.
Because I think that could be an interesting way to use it. So what kind of drive would you like?
What's the Alpaca Rouge?
I have no idea, but let's use the Alpaca Rouge. Let's see what that is.
Hoi.
Turn the level down a
I'm
bit.
hitting our things too.
Let's say that's a cool sounding. That's a big sounding drive.
It's punchy.
Now, the FLUX function. So the FLUX function is kind of a thing that works like an expression pedal, but it's all within this. So at the moment, this is flashing. You've got the tap feature on. If you hold that button in, it goes white, and that's the FLUX feature. And if you look up at the top of the screen here, there's a line up the top, a white line, which kind of moves. Now, that's basically how long it takes you to go from heel to toe position on an expression pedal, right? Which you can change all that. Now, the other thing you can do, if you hold in so for example, the drive, you hold that in, and it's probably very hard to see, but you've got those little notches that appear here. So what you can now do is you can set, for example, your where with the light off here, where you want your drive to be. Then as you press this, you can set where you want it to be when the light is on. And if you watch that here now, it moves at the speed of that. It moves from one to the other. You can also, for example, say when you have the less drive, you want the high cut, and let's turn it on as well. You want the high cut to be higher, so you want to cut more highs.
Yep.
But now, for example, when you turn that on, you want the high cut to be lower, so the two go in the opposite direction, right? So drive goes up, high cut goes down. Now, the other thing you can do, right, which I think is really cool, if you scroll over to the next page, you can actually change how this works. So, for example, you can make the on time, how long it goes from the light being off to light being on. How long does it take? So let's say you want it to be, I don't know, let's say really, really quick, right? Let's say you want it to be 880 milliseconds. You can even change a curve. So do you want it to onset really evenly, or do you want it to go slow and then quick?
I think, yeah, like ramp up a bit.
Ramp up a bit? Okay, so ramp up a little bit.
Yep.
And then, for example, the off time now, to go from the higher gain to the lower gain. Let's make that really slow. Let's make that, you want that to take 4 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
And then we can make the off curve. Let's make it, I don't know. Let's the opposite. Let's do that. So now, right, if we go back to here, now, hang on, let's press this.
Something's going to happen.
Oh, it takes really, it's really slow now.
Because we set it slow.
Because we set it so slow. So now if we have it like that, now we're on the lower gain setting. maybe let's do it more obvious to drive. Let's have it right down with the high cut right up. And then when we do this, let's have it drive right up and a high cut right down.
Okay.
So that's going to take a while to go back now again. So
it's kind of like the equivalent of like automation in a DAW.
yeah.
You're doing all that and set it up so
You can set it up the way you want it to.
multiple parameters change.
Multiple parameters change, yeah. So this is now at the lower gain setting with the high cut up more. It kind of blends in. And I mean, that's just one example, but you can do anything you want with that.
Could be your solo boost, or in ambient world it could be fluctuating times on a delay, which you get that.
Well, I think one of the cool things to do is if you, for example, go to modulation, and let's say you go to somewhere like a 60s bias trem.
Hello.
So it's a tremolo now. And then, for example, you want, for a more verse sort of part, you want the intensity to be quite low.
Yeah.
But then for the, and the speed to be quite low. But for the other part, you want the speed to be quite fast. Oh, hang on, I forgot to do that. So you want, for this, we want the speed to be slow and intensity high. But for this bit, like this. We can even change the mode. We can go from vibrato to tremolo via pushing that.
Out of control.
So, for example, now, okay, so this is what it sounds like now. I mean, this is extremes, but just so you can hear what it does. But I think it's a pretty cool thing, pretty cool feature. And then you can make it... I mean, the other thing also... Let's do one more. Just why not?
The delay thing's cool with a change in the time, because you get that...
Okay, well, let's do a delay. Let's do a delay. So, for example, let's go... Let's do that mod chorus echo thing. Well, actually, let's go... One of my favorites, let's go sweep echo.
Ah, sweepo.
Sweep echo. So this is what it sounds like. So let's say we wanted at that sort of maybe 400 milliseconds, why not? But then when we go up, we don't want it to be 3 seconds, but let's say we want it to go the opposite direction. We want it to be really quick, like a slapback sort of thing.
Sure.
We want it to be 110,
111.
But we want, when that happens, we want the feedback to go up a bit more.
Yeah.
And when we're down, we want the feedback to be a little less. So like there. So for example, we have this. But then, I mean, what you could do is make it a real...
the whole family right there.
Yeah. What you could do is you could make it a real gradual thing. So, for example, for the... And I mean, there's so many things you can change. But so, for example, you can make the on time quite long.
Yep.
And make the off time quite long as well. So when you there's so many parameters in this thing. So when you're pressing it, it takes a while to go from one to the other, so you don't get that extreme quick thing. So it goes from theirs. Fun for hours.
That's what you want.
Fun for hours. Last one that I wanted to quickly do, just to show something that I use it for quite a bit, or would use it for quite a bit.
Oh, I know what you mean. I know what you
like
mean.
a whammy.
Yes.
Whammy style thing. So you go to a whammy, you have this, so you basically go from one position, so heel is, let's make it 0.
Yeah.
And toe, let's make it 12, yeah.
Sure.
But then we want it to be... Yeah, well, that's heel and toe, basically. So that's... Yeah. Oh, hang on. No. So this is... Hang on. Yeah, so this is what this comes in. So we want that. That's this position. that's that position. So
Sure.
it goes like that. But now you want it to happen much quicker, don't you?
Wow.
The on time, not the level. Level will keep it 0. The on time you want it to be, I want it to be basically
Wow.
just about instant.
Yeah, right.
So let's try this. Maybe a little less so you can hear the sweep a bit. 60 milliseconds. But then we want the off time.
Love that song.
The off time to take 500 millisecond, and we want the off curve to be like that. Because why not?
Exactly. Well, many reasons. Ooh, it's polyphonic too.
It is polyphonic, yeah. So I mean that's the flux, and again you can apply it to any effect, to any parameter on any effect. We could go on for hours.
And obviously, like we're doing extremes just to show how it
Just
works.
to show how it works, yeah.
But if you had a delay just fluctuating the time a bit, you get this kind of crazy mod thing going on.
Yeah,
for ambient
a more
walls.
subtle thing.
Same with reverbs and such.
Now one of the other things you can do with it is you can hook up an external expression pedal, or not expression, like an external foot switch. So for example, this, if we plug it into here, it's now set up to scroll through presets. So for example, by pushing up and down, you can go through different presets. It's just set up to go up and down between the different presets.
Yep.
It's just a normal TRS cable, normal foot switch, right? What you can do is also you can set it up to do different things. So by holding in this button, you go into what's called global settings. It's like a little gear there, global settings. So here, for example, you can scroll through all the different global settings. So you've got, for example, input gate, the threshold for the gate, whether you want the gate, you can have a gate if you use it for distortions and stuff like that. You can also set input levels, so whether you use a guitar or a keyboard or acoustic guitar, different types of input levels. Whether it's stereo in and out, if it's mono in, stereo out, all that sort of stuff, you can set it up here.
Ooh.
Whether you want instrument level in and out, or you want different levels in and out, you can set all that sort of stuff. The brightness of the screen. It takes 20 minutes for how long it takes for the screen to dim, which is, I guess, some sort of a battery saving, CPU saving thing.
Yeah.
The flashing and all that sort of stuff. You can select all that, but then you scroll across to here, and then you have a pedal jack. So at the moment, it's set to function FS3 and FS4. So it's foot switch 1, foot switch 2, and that's it, foot switch 3 and 4. You can also set it by moving that to an expression pedal. Now, an expression pedal, you need a mono expression pedal, or expression pedal is capable of doing mono, using a mono cable.
Yeah.
You can use a TRS to 2 mono splitter and use a single foot switch and an expression pedal together. We'll get into expression pedal in a second. So that's basically the 2 functions. You can do that. And then within each of these functions, you can actually you can tell it what you want it to do. So at the moment, it's previous and next. But you can change it to, one of them can be a tap function, right? So you keep this for your flux and make one of them a tap function. You can make one of those your flux function or previous and next. So you can interchange what these buttons do, basically, right? Which I think is pretty handy. I think having that as a bank up and down, to me, that's sort of what I would go for.
I'd say so.
So with this, so I mean, if we go back to home, that's just what it does now. Right, so it goes through the different sounds. The other thing you can do, if you unplug this and plug in a mono cable with an expression pedal, so you plug this in, and now you can use it like any other expression pedal. Again, let's go into the presets. Now here, for example, we've got to change it from FS34, we've got to change it to expression pedal. So this has now become the expression pedal. Then you can also set... you can set it up a little bit, but it basically does the same as a flux feature. right? So this basically becomes your flux feature.
Cool.
Now, this particular expression pedal, for whatever reason, works the opposite way. But the cool thing is, so for example, let's go back to here, right? Let's go back into here. So for example, we've got this, compression's maybe not the right thing to do. Let's do, no, hang on, let's go to, no, let's go to here. Let's go to different effects. We don't want EQ. Let's use, for example, I don't know, reverb. I don't know. Let's do a shimmer reverb, right?
Yep.
Now you set up the expression pedal the same way you set up the flux. So you hold in a, for example, button. Let's do pitch A, and we want to change pitch A. We want it in that position, right, to be unison, right? But in this position, we want it to be octave up, right?
Cool.
So now this is set up to do that.
To blend in that octave.
Yeah. You can also do it with this. It does the same thing, but then you can, for example, leave this as a tap function and just do it with this. So you can do it manually. And you can assign, again, multiple parameters to it. So you can say you want, I don't know, you want
Mix
the mix, for example. So you want the mix to be really quite high when it's in this position.
Yeah, cool.
But when it's in this position, you want the mix to be right down.
So
it doesn't matter what the polarity is. What I'm getting at is you can set what each one of them is. So now we, for example, have this, right? So I don't know exactly what it does, but it goes from this. It does the same thing, but you can set it up with an expression pedal. That's basically what I'm getting at. Yeah, and if you have a TRS to 2 mono output splitter, you can have another pedal, only one, so not a dual foot switch, but you can have that and a single foot switch.
That's pretty handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So, and I mean, that's really that. That's sort of what I wanted to go through in this video anyway, because I thought there's so many other videos about all the different sounds, but the sounds are all the same as all the other HX effects.
Yes.
The whole Helix family. So nothing has changed. It also has an editor. It's got a USB connection where you can do stuff on the editor. If you want to see a video of me using the editor, let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. MIDI in and out capability as well. And I believe everything that you can do on here, you can do via MIDI. So if you use an external foot switch, like a looper switcher or something like that, if it has MIDI capability, you can assign any of the flux function, any of the tap function, any of that stuff to the external looper switcher. So you can So and I mean that's that.
Very cool. Hopefully that's helpful with some new features.
Yeah.
HX1.
And I mean, Line 6 are amazing when it comes to updates. They constantly update firmware. They constantly add new sounds, new effects, new this, new that. So it's definitely, it's supported. It's a product that'll be supported in future. And a lot of people kind of go, well, what's the point? It's just a single effect. I think to stick that on your board as a... It has everything in it.
Yeah, all the bits.
And if you need something, you just use it. I used to have actually on a board ages ago, I used to have an H9, Eventide H9, and the M5.
Sure.
And between the two, I could just about do anything. I just watched a Tim Pierce video, and he has 2 of those now on his pedal board. You can anything you need at any time in a recording situation, you can call it up because there's everything on it basically. So anyway, I'll stop talking now.
Hope that's helpful. Checking out the HX1.
Yeah.
Like I said, leave a comment below if you've got any thoughts or comments on the new little box.
Or if you want us to do anything specific with it. We're going to have it for a little while, I think, so let us know. Or if Yamaha gets it back, Line 6 Yamaha gets it back, because I may not be able to give it back because I might have to keep it and put it on my board. Sorry, Yamaha, Line 6 Australia.
Nice. Also links below to socials and a podcast. Check those out if you got a second and want to check out more.
Please do.
Thanks for hanging. It's been fun.
Yeah.
See you soon. Catch ya.